Dads, what's the funniest way you've ever ruined a family recipe? Wednesday night was supposed to be easy. My wife had to work late, so she left me with one responsibility: make her family's famous chili. She even wrote out instructions step by step on a sticky note, like she was prepping me for a middle school science fair instead of dinner. The recipe looks simple: ground beef, onions, beans, tomato sauce, and a pinch of chili powder. That last part bugged me. A pinch? That didn't sound like chili. That sounded like soup pretending to be chili. So naturally, I decided to improve it. While the beef browned, I went on a spice cabinet treasure hunt. Cayenne pepper? Toss it in. Red pepper flakes? Why not? Then my eyes landed on the unopened bottle of ghost pepper sauce my brother gave me as a gag gift. It had been collecting dust for months. Tonight, it finally had a purpose. I dumped half the bottle into the pot, followed by a generous sprinkle of jalapeno powder I found hiding behind the garlic salt. The smell coming out of that pot was incredible, like a restaurant and a volcano had teamed up. My 14-year-old son, Luke, wandered in, took one breath, and immediately started coughing. I waved my spoon proudly. That's the aroma of authenticity. He gave me a look that said, "You're going to kill us all." 20 minutes later, my wife came home from soccer practice with our 10-year-old daughter, Mia. Everyone was starving, so I ladled out steaming bowls of what looked like normal chili. I was actually proud. Deep red color, perfect consistency, smelled amazing. First bites happened at the same time. Mia's eyes filled with tears, and she started fanning her mouth like she was putting out a fire. Luke abandoned his bowl instantly, sprinted to the fridge, and started chugging milk straight from the jug. My wife didn't even swallow. She just lowered her spoon slowly and stared at me like I'd betrayed generations of her family. And then things went from bad to legendary. My father-in-law, Frank, walked in right as the chaos hit. He'd been visiting all week and had spent 3 days bragging about how real spice doesn't exist outside Arizona. The sight of everyone suffering only made him grin. Finally, someone in the family had made chili worthy of his taste buds, or so he thought. He grabbed a bowl, scooped a massive spoonful, and declared, "Now this looks like chili." The man turned beet red before he even finished chewing. His eyes watered, sweat beaded down his forehead, but his pride wouldn't let him stop. He forced down another bite, nodded at me, and rasped, "Tastes just like the army." 30 seconds later, he keeled over sideways in his chair and passed out cold on the dining room floor. My wife screamed his name. Mia was still fanning her mouth. Luke had polished off an entire gallon of milk, and I was frozen in the kitchen doorway holding a ladle like a weapon. For a brief moment, I thought I had accidentally committed aggravated assault with beans. Frank came to quickly, sat up covered in sweat, and croaked the last thing anyone expected: "Can I get the recipe?" Dinner was over at that point. We abandoned the chili, ordered pizza, and opened every window in the house to get rid of the fumes. Nobody touched more than 2 bites of what my wife now refers to as hazmat chili. But Frank? He wouldn't shut up about it. For the rest of his visit, he told every cashier, neighbor, and stranger within earshot about his son-in-law's military-grade chili. Now every family gathering, without fail, someone brings it up. My wife won't let me cook without direct supervision. My daughter refuses to eat anything I prepare unless she tests it first. And my son has started keeping his own emergency milk stash in the fridge. And Frank? He still asks me to make that exact recipe every time he visits.